Raw was a weird one last night in terms of TV in general. The WWE knew there was a big NBA game on, so they structured the show so it was both really, really good and really, really empty. I am Simon from WhatCulture though, and you are watching Ups and Downs, the show where we go through Raw and we give the good bits an up, the bad bits a down, and it's treated as fact. So whatever I say goes. So if I say Raw was good, it's good, and if I say Raw was bad, it's bad. In the history books, and no one can say anything. So enough talking here. Let's do more talking about Raw itself by upping some downs. Well, that Raw opening. Pretty damn awesome, right? Up. As well as a great promo by Paul Heyman while Lesnar just stand there looking like a monster, Joe came out and he was all like, "Hey man, I'm Samoa Joe. I ain't scared of you. Let's fight." And Lesnar was, "Yeah, let's fight." And it was superb. Much like that amazing brawl that Lesnar and Taker had a few years ago, this just felt like two behemoths kicking the crap out of each other and like they were each other's equals. When you present two people as each other's equals, I can buy into the match because I'm like, who's going to win? Brock Lesnar will win. Brock Lesnar will win. Joe wasn't scared, Brock wanted blood, and it was the best way to present this to make it feel legit, but also to remind us if you mess with Brock Lesnar, he ain't going to be a happy chap. He's got the chops and he's going to chop you all over the place. They beat up security guards, had to be held back by some members of the roster. It did everything it needed to do to get me excited about the main event for Great Balls of Fire, so I can't complain. I would say it's a shame that WWE can't do things like this each and every week, but I'm going to take that back because damn it, they can. It doesn't have to be this, but keep coming up with cool ideas, keep coming up with new ideas, and get me on the edge of my seat, pumping my fist like I was for this. Top stuff. Unfortunately, this did segue to the first down of the evening, because everything between The Miz, Dean Ambrose, and Elias Samson was just meh. Down. The Drifter's song was pretty good again because it does piss off the crowd, but then he went into a match with Dean Ambrose and it just felt like too much too soon. It ended after Miz got involved and he distracted some people and then Elias Samson took control out of it. It did nothing to build this feud, which is now way, way, way overrun. We need to end it soon. It is nice that the Drifter is involved with two well-established guys, but this was just there. It was filler. It was stuck in because you knew you had to do something with the IC title and the people around it. And given how good The Miz was last week, this was a shame. And the same goes for the tag match between Heath Slater and Rhino and The Miz and the Bear from last week. Down. Now I'm always down for nonsense. Nonsense makes the world go around. But why all of a sudden does The Miz want Heath Slater on his team? For protection? Doesn't make any sense. And then why was the Bear back? And why, because the Bear was back, do the commentators have to constantly make terrible puns that aren't funny? Like, it was entertaining to a certain degree, but it lost its way super fast and was just presented really badly. And then what happened with the Bear? It was Dean Ambrose, but it wasn't Dean Ambrose. The hell was this? The highlight was the continued tension between The Miz and Maurice, because that could actually go somewhere. As for everything else, get it off my TV. The Goldust and R-Truth vignettes were good again though, so they're getting them up. We need to progress all this soon because we can't keep doing this forever, but it has re-established both guys as very talented individuals who, when all is said and done, have been underutilised the last few years. And that's nice. We've revamped them. They're back. We do need the match soon, or at least a solid announcement so it feels like we're going somewhere. And once that's done, I think you can take both Goldust and R-Truth and put them into something a bit more worthwhile. And that's what we should be doing with our roster, given sometimes it can feel a little thin. Have one big run for both guys. Happy days. The Noam Dar Cedric Alexander stuff, though, was dumb. Let's get it down. Not only did Dar lose this match because he was arguing with Alicia Fox on his phone, and somehow that phone call also made its way into the arena as on the Titantron, but it was also made very clear that Noam Dar has lost a lot recently. And then he lost again. Why would any of this make me tune into 205 Live? So I can see how their relationship pans out? I can't recall that being a major selling point of the Cruiserweight Classic. This is ridiculous. Roman Reigns and Finn Balor weren't on the show last night, but we did find out that next week, Reigns is going to tell us his SummerSlam plans. And you know what? That's enough. WWE know ratings are going to suffer at the moment, so if you've got no plans for either of these guys, you should keep them off TV. And then when you do want to bring them back, a la Roman next week, you've got something to talk about and you've got a reason to give people to tune in. So it's very smart. And it was simple and it should benefit all going forward. I liked it. Everything with Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins though was a huge down. It's gotten to the point now where Wyatt is just, I don't even know. He comes out, he spouts a lot of nonsense, it doesn't make any sense, and then I don't know what to make of it. And every week people come at me on Twitter, on the internet, they go, oh, you hate Bray Wyatt. Why do you hate Bray Wyatt so much? I don't hate Bray Wyatt, but when a man comes out and says the sun and the moon collide together, Seth Rollins, and when the clouds align and rain down on your soul, then the new beginning will come. What are we to do with that? What do you want me to do with that? He's got great delivery. I say it again, he's got great delivery, but it's gibberish. Pizza Hut have great delivery, but if they turn up with in a box, I'm not going to eat it. And I'm cool with Wyatt and Rollins having a feud. I think it's quite interesting, but there's nothing here. It's empty, and it just feels like it's been thrown together because you've got two guys and you don't know what to do with them. And again, what did we have here? Bray talking in mumbo jumbo and Seth mad because last week Wyatt got involved in his match. Should I care about that? Because I don't care. And I would like to care. This is Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt. These are two amazingly talented dudes. Come on. Now calm down, and this is still early days, so there's every chance that it gets good. But to say this wasn't like every single Bray Wyatt promo or segment we've seen the last 2 years would be a lie. We need something different. And just to go truly crazy for a moment, and I don't know why I'm doing this, especially given everything I just said, all the tightest brand stuff on Raw, I'm giving it up, tentatively. Here's the thing. It's been so loopy and all over the place the last few weeks, I don't know what to make of it. But last night, we did seem to maybe get a solid base that we can actually use. Apollo Crews did beat Kalisto in the ring, and during that, Titus O'Neil was on the outside with Tozawa as he tried to convince him to join the Titus brand. Then after Crews won, Titus and Apollo kind of seemed like they were finally on the same page, and Tozawa was a bit like, maybe I should join this new brand. And that all kind of works and could build somewhere. If this does end with a Titus stable that has loads of dudes in it, that could work out quite well and is better than these people just floundering and having nothing to do, and it could be quite entertaining. We'll see what happens next week and the week after that. This wasn't so bad, I hope. However, it's another week, which means it's also another week to just throw all the women into one big schmoz that makes no sense and doesn't build or define any going feuds. Down. These segments are so overkill and filled with people you can't really care about what's going on, especially when the segment starts with Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss hating each other and then it finishes with a match and they're both on the same side. What? The long and the short of it was we had a big tag match that did involve everybody. Emma returned and then Sasha Banks won the match. I don't get what I'm supposed to think about any of this. It hasn't given me any reason to tune in next week. Didn't like it. Right, another risky up. But the interview between Bayley and Corey Graves may actually be alright. And here's why. While a lot of what was said was stupid, it sounded like Bayley wanted to be a pro wrestler without hurting anybody, they may have planted some seeds here that actually eventually rehabs the Bayley character. The key here was that she wanted to be a decent competitor and ultimately end up going into WrestleMania as the champ or competing for the championship, or basically not being a massive loser at the biggest event of the year. If that means she now starts to feel like the Bayley of old and starts to work her way back up the card and gain some momentum, then everything that's happened before is alright because you're using it to build for the future. That's a positive and may actually work. But we have to stick to this now, WWE. No turning your back on it. Go all the way in. If it turns out I've misinterpreted this, shoot me in the face. Neville was amazing as always though. Didn't have his match with Rich Swann because he beat the crap out of him, then got on the mic and said I can beat the crap out of everyone. He is literally the king of Monday Night Raw. And he is the king because he's amazing and he gets the up. Whole cruiserweight division still needs a shot on the arm. That's neither here nor there for now. The Enzo and Cass stuff is still really good too. That's getting an up. We're not rushing anything here and instead we just continually add more people to the story. Big Show is now well entrenched in the whole thing. And obviously he's still got all the teases of the Revival doing it. Cass did get attacked again but soldiered on and went into his match against Gallows and Anderson with Enzo. And obviously he lost because he was hurt. And then the Big Show came out to help Enzo and Cass was left in the ring looking like a sad man. It really has set up Cass for a great heel turn if they decide to go in that direction. because the motivation and the justification is now there. Enzo being a bit of a dick. I genuinely enjoy tuning in for this each and every week, even if I do forget about it beforehand, but that's great. And with a few more twists and turns, this could go on for quite a while. I'd be alright with it. I do have to give the main event a down, even though I thoroughly enjoyed it, but here's the reason why. I thought the 2 out of 3 falls match for the tag team titles between Sheamus and Cesaro and the Hardys was a lot of fun, and I was entertained by it, but having the last fall go to a double count out and ending in a draw, that's no good. I get it because the feud has to continue, but then why have this match on Raw? There's other angles and things you could have come up with so they're still interacting with each other, and nobody won and nobody lost as opposed to giving us a draw. Nobody likes a draw unless it's in New Japan and it's a 1 hour long draw. Then we all love it. But we didn't need to have a fight here because there were plenty of other options we could do. So just a bit weird. So it's not the biggest down in the world and all these dudes are incredibly talented and I just love the Hardys. They felt like a big deal, but not the best use of them here. And that was Raw. It's a bit weird we didn't get much more with Kurt Angle, but that's fine. Put it on the back burner and let it build. And while it wasn't a great show and certainly not as good as last week, it was fine enough. It was a fine show, and I think WWE were just terrified of NBA ratings. Now don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about last night's Raw. Like, share and subscribe. Go to WhatCulture.com and read the ups and downs articles. Follow WhatCulture.com on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. And I'm there at SimonMiller316. I am Simon from WhatCulture, and this was Raw Ups and Downs. And I'll be back next week, hopefully. I imagine I'll still be alive. You just never know. That's a weird thing to say. End the video.
'Cause this is my time, I don't ever quit. This is my life, I will never submit.